6, there are things that we have to do by statute. First order of business, you all have to reorganize. As the advisory board, you have to have a chairperson and a secretary.
Why don't we have Susan continue to be chair? And Sherry, would you like to be second chair?
Secretary.
Or secretary.
Second chair?
Yes.
Vice president? President, vice president?
Ooh, I get it right now.
Chair.
Secretary.
Secretary, yeah.
Secretary.
Those are the two offices.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, if you will make a motion that Susan be the chairperson and Sherry be the secretary, and then one of you two second it.
I would like to make a motion that Susan be the chairperson and that Sherry be the secretary for
Second.
2026.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Okay.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, welcome, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you.
Glad to have you in that position. Sherry, welcome.
Thank you.
Your secretarial duties start right now.
Okay. I need paper then, I guess.
All right, you'll
You
need
know what,
a
I've done it before.
finger.
Are you okay with me
This
writing?
one on a pad.
Or do you have,
Yeah.
it's up to you.
That makes you
Your comfort
both
level.
of them.
Does that make you, I mean,
No, no. That way I know exactly how you're doing it, and then
Okay.
I can do it the
Okay.
next time, so.
All right, second order of business. You all have to organize as a board of finance. In the event that we would ever have to borrow money or float bonds or anything like that, you have to have a board of finance to enact that business. You have to have a chairperson and you have to have a secretary of the board of finance. What we've always done in the past, the officers for the advisory board are the officers for the for the board of finance.
Is that group throughout or individual? I'd like to,
Oh, you do the group again, just what you did.
okay, all right. I would like to suggest that Susan be the chairperson of that committee and that Sherry be the secretary of that committee.
second.
All right, we have a motion and second for the finance board of the chairwoman being Susan and the secretary being Sherry. All right,
All in favor?
all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. All right, we've got those out of the way. Now, the next thing we have are contracts. The State Board of Accounts requires us to have a contract with anyone that we pay with township funds. So we have Mr. Wade Pettis, who just lost his brother Saturday, which is very, very sad.
Yeah.
Which one?
Buck.
Buck Pastor.
Yeah. So I'll give you that later. So we have Mr. Wade Pettis, who takes care of the cemeteries and the mausoleum, cuts grass, repairs the headstones, anything that needs to be done. If there's tree debris or damage out there, he takes care of that. So we have a mowing and lawn care maintenance contract, and I need you all to approve this. So the Addison Township agrees to pay a sum of not more than $4,400 to the contractor for mowing, trimming, debris removal, and overall lawn maintenance of cemeteries and the Temple Hill Mausoleum located in Addison Township, Shelby County. The term of this contract is for calendar year 2026. Need a motion and a second.
I make a motion to approve the contract not to be no more than $4,400 for the year, 2026 year.
Second.
We have a motion and second for the mowing and lawn care maintenance contract. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. All right, we have a debit card from our bank account. Okay, the debit card allows us to attend conferences, book the hotel, not have to pay out of our pocket and then get reimbursed by the township. The only two authorized users of the debit card is Jeannie and myself. Okay, and so we have to have a policy. The policy resolution addresses use of the card and what can and can't be done with the card. So we need a motion for this policy.
I make a motion to approve the policy for the debit card.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the credit debit card policy for Addison Township. It's the same as what we had last year, and the trigger is we can't do anything over $1,000. And so, Jeannie and I's hotel last year for the ITA conference was around $900. But we did that for 2 rooms, 2 adults, 2 nights. All right, and you all will have to sign all of these before you leave tonight.
Okay.
All right, next we have documents management, retention, destruction, and reporting coordination. It wasn't until last year, 2025, that we ran out of space in these file cabinets. And so you have to keep certain documents a certain period of time, financial documents a certain period of time. None of them are all the same. Some of them are 5 years, some of them are 6 years, some of them are 7 years. So what we did, the township commissioned Rita French as a business to handle the document management, retention, and destruction and file management for the township. They did that for around $4,000. That rate came out to about $50 an hour for what they did. So we need your approval for the document management, retention, destruction, and reporting coordination.
I make a motion to approve the documentation for management, retention, and destruction.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for that coordination policy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Capital assets policy for Addison Township. All right, Addison Township does not have capital assets outside of these, the desk, file cabinet, the chairs that you're sitting in. We don't have any major assets. Other townships have fire departments, volunteer fire departments, they have trucks, they have vehicles. We don't have that. I found out because we got our knuckles wrapped. I said, well, we don't have any assets, so that's why we don't have a policy. Even if you don't have any assets, you still have to have a policy. So, we put together a capital assets policy for Addison Township. We have no land of any value. Infrastructure items of $5,000 or greater, we don't have. Buildings, the township doesn't own any buildings. The township pays rent for this building, which was a house, belongs to my family. And so the township just pays rent. Improvements to other buildings, $5,000 or greater, we don't have that, so we don't do it. Equipment, any equipment over $1,000 we don't have. Snow blowers, we have a contract with Wade Pettis. He has a Dixie chopper, he's got push mowers, he's got leaf blowers, he's got all of that. That's his. We pay him. None of that belongs to the township, so we don't have to depreciate any of that. And we don't have any construction work in progress. So, we have to have this policy. So I need a motion and a second for the capital assets policy for Addison Township.
I'll make a motion for the capital assets policy to move forward.
A second.
All right, we have a motion and second for the capital assets policy for Addison Township. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. All right, starting July 1st, 2025, we were required to live stream our meetings. All right, I'm the oldest one here. I'm not all that tech savvy, all right? So So I found somebody who is tech savvy, who knows how to do this. And so we have a contract with Mr. Chris New to assist us with streaming our meetings. Now later, I'm going to ask you all if you can attempt to schedule the meetings for all of 2026.
Okay.
And so we have to meet in January. We usually meet in April to go over what happened in the first quarter. We meet in July for the budget, but that doesn't have to be streamed. We meet in September for the public budget hearings, and there are 2 of those. You have to have 14 days apart. So you have one day in September, and then 14 days later you have the second. And at the second, that's when you all will adopt the budget for 2027. Yes. So we have this contract to pay Chris to assist us with the streaming. So public access streaming and archiving of township meetings contract. I need a motion and a second.
I make a motion that we pass the public access streaming with Chris.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? The ayes have it. And so again, you all will sign all of these, I sign them, and then whoever the contractor is, Chris will have to sign it, Rita will have to sign it, and Wade will have to sign his. All right, we also got our knuckles wrapped because we didn't have a personnel policy. We have a small township. You all know that Jeannie busts her hump. Jeannie works almost 24/7. She's like Geico, always open, Cause what happens, she has forwarded this phone to her cell phone. So if you call the office number on the second ring, it goes to her phone. And so she gets calls at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, I didn't think you were gonna answer. I was gonna leave a message.
That's
All right, so our personnel policy, this policy resolution addresses compensation, leave time, and E-Verify for employment eligibility. All compensation must be set out on Form 17. That's you all's salary, my salary, and Jeannie's 2 salaries, okay? We provide no additional employee benefits beyond salary compensation. We don't do fringe, we don't do insurance or any of that. Leave time is set up for the investigative clerk at 2 weeks per year. That's usually what she takes. Leave time is not bankable, so it doesn't continue to roll over. Again, Jeannie lets me know something's going on and she needs to go to Pennsylvania to visit the grandkids or something's going on. I can usually accommodate that. So I said, well, while you're gone, I'll just take all the calls. And I said, but they may not get their application until after you get back. So we have to have a personnel policy that's identified. I just told you what it is. It's only like about a quarter of the page. So, but we have to have it. So need a motion and a second for the personnel policy for Addison Township.
I make a motion to accept the personnel policy.
Okay, I'll second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second for the personnel policy for Addison Township. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. All right, the next is the Form 17, the resolution of salaries for township officers and employees. I have to complete this and provide it to the State Board of Accounts and the Department of Local Government and Finance. Welcome. And so the salaries are such: the position trustee, number in the position, 1, rate of compensation for 2026, $16,000. Clerk, number of positions, 1, rate of compensation, $46.50. for you, I didn't write it down for myself.
For the clerk, yeah, $46.50.
Hey, I was right. $4,650.
I thought we just voted on firing her.
What do you
So I
call
give her some.
Oh,
For the investigator, number of positions, we have one. Rate of compensation is $29,925 for the year. Advisory board, number of positions, we have three. 1, 2, 3. You all's compensation for 2026 will be $1,900. What I will take out in December will be your social
Security, Medicare.
Social Security and Medicaid.
Medicaid.
I don't
Medicare,
take out
Medicaid,
any
Medicare.
state taxes, local or state taxes. So it won't be the whole $1,900, it'll be,
$1,754.65.
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, we take out Social Security and Medicaid.
All right, so I will do that.
Do we need a motion for that?
No.
Okay,
That's just what I have to do, that's
same.
my statute.
okay.
For 2026, Addison Township's dues to the Indiana Township Association are $500. All right? I want to ask you all, Jeannie and I don't feel like renewing our membership. But if you all want us to renew the membership, we have the money for it.
And we
I-
will go to the conferences, we'll do the things.
I just don't see the value that we get for our $500 membership. They do have a documents library. They do have workshops and seminars over the course of the year. They've got one coming up on Thursday, next Thursday. I'm not going to it. It's about finances. Our finances are such. It's pretty simple, you know. I think our total budget is around $300,000, and the only thing that got cut in our 1782 was $14,000 out of township assistance. And we had talked about that, and the nice thing about it, DLGF did that for us, and so now we don't have to do anything else. Her salary that comes out of that is still intact.
It's a tax
The,
increase. It does not
The
want
direct
me.
assistance is still intact. And you know, we have that $5,000 that we keep in medical assistance. That's our fallback. If we would ever run short of funds in our direct assistance. So we've got direct assistance where we do, rent, mortgage, utilities. The only utilities are oil, gas, electric. We do cremations, and we do food orders, and we do prescriptions. We've never spent all of the money in those categories. And I think what we've got, it's over $40,000 for next year. And I think it will be fine. So, do you all want the township to renew its membership with the Indiana Township Association? And if you all ever wanted to go to workshops or to the conference, you'd be covered as township employees.
What will all the other townships in Shelby County do?
Excuse me. There will only be probably 3 of the 14
That will sign up?
that will renew their membership.
And statewide, is that normal, that it's gonna be, we only have 3 out of 14? Okay.
Yeah.
So when that's not, we're gonna be shining out there in front of everybody when those guys down there.
No, because
No.
it went up.
It's significantly for everybody, so
We had a similar issue with Boys and Girls Clubs of America, Indiana, so I mean, it's like they did nothing for us, but some years we didn't do it, other years we did, and some years say, hey, we want 100% this year, and other years people say, what are you gonna do for me, I mean.
They get 100% in the state of Ohio. I don't know how they do it, but they have 2,400
Wow.
townships that pay their membership. Now, if I feel that we're getting value for that $500, I'd renew in a heartbeat because
Yeah.
we have the money.
Yeah.
We have the funds available for it.
But the only purpose of getting the membership is to say you have a membership and to go to conferences to learn new things, even though some things are not changing. And if new things are coming about, you're still gonna be educated because you get DOGF that's gonna tell you this is coming down the track.
Right. Or we could go to, we don't have to necessarily go to the conference. They could have, I would have thought they would have had a webinar or just a workshop on streaming, video streaming. They did. That's what everybody wanted. Now, if they would have had that before the July 1st, of course, I would have went to it, or maybe Jeannie and I would have went to it to figure out how we're gonna do this. They just left us to our own devices and said, well, the best advice we can give you is don't do it on your personal Facebook account, because if you do that, it becomes a matter of public record.
Mhm.
And I said, well, no, we won't want to do that. Jeannie's not gonna do it on her Facebook page, I'm not gonna do it on mine. So.
Well, and honestly, like from the conference, the things that I've taken away from it is, chaos. Honestly, they have a standard, ITA has a standard, but it's not always the law. So if we're following the law, then they're telling us it's a standard, and then you have, 14 other people I'm sitting at a round table with that are doing different things. Then I'm asking James, I'm like, hey, are we doing this right? Are we doing this right? Like, they said we should be doing this, and they said we should be doing this. And I never leave the conferences feeling confident. I never leave the conferences feeling full, because they never feed me correctly. And I know that's petty, but
No.
but when we're paying,
We paid $700 for the two of us to attend.
and
I
They-
really couldn't live with that.
well, I mean, and the thing is, when they do give us stuff, when they did provide, it was a whole ordeal, but, which it shouldn't have been. It really shouldn't have been, but, I just don't ever feel like, I don't know, I've been 2 or 3 times, and every time the presenters are the same, everything's the same. So I never leave feeling like it was beneficial. Never. I come back with a stack full of cards to call people, and I never call them, because while I'm in the moment, I'm like, oh, give me your number, because I'm like, I need to know more about this. And then I get back and I talk to James, and I'm like, no, we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing. We're following the law. I mean, I balance everything to a T, and I talk to my constituents the way that I should. I'm doing my job. Just because I'm not doing it how she did it doesn't mean I'm doing it wrong.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's what I had to convey to Jeannie. She's the investigator, so if someone needs assistance, they contact the office and they speak with the investigator. In larger townships, they may talk to an intake specialist.
Right.
Okay? And so some investigators, they go out and they physically examine the domicile where someone is, whether it's a house or apartment or what have you. We've never had to do that, and so you've got investigators that are racking up hundreds of miles each week, and then they get reimbursed for that. Well, Jeannie doesn't have to do that. And the other thing, Shelbyville is small enough, we know most of the people who are contacting us, or we know the landlords. Because a lot of times the landlords will contact Jeannie and say, Jane Doe is gonna be calling you because she's gonna need help with her rent
Mhm.
for February.
And even like the mortuaries, like I talked to Greg Parks today, like they know they can just call me and be like, hey, so and so's gonna come over, and they can give me their side of it. So and what I had to learn is that these bigger places, they also do different things because their board has put different things into place on what they do, because their budgets are bigger. Their needs are different than Shelby County's or Addison Township's needs. So, like I said, I never leave there feeling.
It is more chaos when you leave, because, like Jeannie said, she sits in a workshop session, and where she's been accustomed to doing something this way, she finds that there are 4 or 5 different ways to do that. And so, are we doing it right? Yes, we're doing it right. Do I think the investigator needs to go out and physically see the domicile where John or Jane Doe lives? No. Now, what happens if we get an address that's like vague? I'll go out. So we got, what, 2 years or 3 years ago, we got the people that were living behind Walgreens. And they had an address of 1701, you know,
It was very strange. I was
East State Road 44. And I'm scratching my head. Where is that? So I get in my car, I drive out there, I see Walgreens. It's like 1701 or whatever the address was. They can't live in Walgreens.
Them behind it.
They were living behind it. They had a little tent, whatever, and so.
and honestly, I do my due diligence. I make sure that these addresses are legit. I am from this town. I drive 1,000,000 miles a day, so I know where these places are. And there's times that I'm like, I have no idea where this street is. I've never heard of it. And I also will get in my car and go do it. I'm not charging the township mileage.
And I don't either, because I don't want to have to fill out the form, and I don't think Jean wants to fill out the form.
Well, you guys can Google it too, and kind of
Yeah,
do
yeah.
Yeah, so that
Earth
we
image.
get reimbursed.
Yeah.
But we had a person that had a weed issue,
Mm-hmm.
and she lived all the way out on Michigan Road just before you get to the McDonald's. And so that's not our township anymore.
Right.
And I'm saying, was it Dwayne Village? And I told Jeannie, I said, I'll get my car, I'm gonna drive out here, I'm gonna try to see where this is. And I drove, and I went past Dwayne Village, I went over the interstate, I saw those little apartment buildings there, I still kept going, and it was like the 4th house before you get to where the storage units are. See, that's not our township. I called a woman back and I said, that township is Brandywine. The trustee is, and here's the number. Because some things, like Jeannie said, we know most of the addresses.
I ask, when someone calls, one of the first things I ask them is, do you live in Shelbyville? What is your address? Because sometimes, and if it's so-and-so west, something north, something south, I instantly go into the WTHGIS website and look it up, and then I pull the property card and I see who the township is. And a lot of times, it's not us. You know, sometimes I'm shocked and it is us, and you know, and but honestly, there's back to the ITA. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of ways to do a lot of things. I would think for $700, I think it would be more beneficial to have all the trustees get together and do some sort of workshop, or maybe organize something so we could do something with the landlords and have the landlords come in and
we did
talk.
that once.
I mean, I feel like
Let's
now
do something local.
I think, yes, I think the money should be spent local, and I think people, you know, especially nowadays, they wanna know. And part of transparency is being live and being out there. And I'm totally okay putting something together and inviting all the landlords or anybody from the public who has questions, who wanna see what we do. You know, we open these meetings, but you know, nobody wants to just come into a meeting where you don't know what's gonna happen. But if it's open for the public and open for questions, or tonight we're gonna talk about rental assistance. These are our guidelines. These, you know, come if you like. I think that $500 or $700, whatever, we better spend local for something like that.
I agree. I think there's no reason, as long as you guys are comfortable with it, there's
Yeah.
no
So,
reason.
are we in agreement? It sounds to me
Yes.
like this is something we don't really need to be a part of, right?
Right,
Is
I
that
agree.
what you guys are thinking?
I agree.
Okay,
Does this need a motion and a second, or?
no.
Okay, so, all right. Yeah,
Well, no, we'll do that. So have a motion and a second, you know, that way it won't fall
Yeah.
back on
no,
Jeannie or I
So
just
we just
saying,
say we didn't decide.
we
decide
just
not to.
decided
you
not
can't get
to.
in trouble for doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion
Yeah.
that we do not renew the dues for the township assistance.
the ITA.
ITA.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it.
And it's not coercion.
Yeah, so, the other thing that I want to share with you all, Sherry, this will be totally new to you because you're not aware. But the Temple Hill Mausoleum was vandalized.
Well, I did hear a little bit about that, cause I wrote a note, wanted to make sure if it had been repaired.
Okay, so we got the quote from Builders Lumber, just to repair the window, it's $882.75. I'm going to use our rainy day fund, we have about $30,000 in the rainy day fund, to pay for that. That's just the window, that's not the labor. So when I come back to you and it's, I don't know, the guy charges $500 or whatever to like install it, it'll be more than $882.75. But
So it's just one window that was damaged.
yeah, but I mean, it's a big window, so this window is,
Oh, this is the second vandalizations that you're talking about?
no, that's from the first one.
On the west
Remember
side of the building?
Yeah, remember I never got the window and the door?
Oh, that's,
replaced?
they blocked it, they just blocked it.
They just- yeah.
Blocked it up. Okay,
1-800
yeah, yeah.
block up, they
Yeah.
just block. So that window share is about almost 4 feet wide and 6 feet high.
Wow.
Yeah, they're big windows.
Big
Yeah.
stained glass, I'm sure they were beautiful at one
They
point.
were.
Yeah, it was stained glass, we're not putting stained glass back in there, so
Oh, yeah.
we don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, no,
That would be,
and it was hidden by a bunch of bushes anyway,
oh.
Yeah,
which
So are
was
they
not good.
still, oh, I'm sorry, are they still thinking about seeing, cameras or anything?
They want us to do that, but we would have to install the cameras and you need a lot of memory space.
and someone would have to monitor all that and. I don't know. It's tough because while we're responsible per the law, like, because we have to take responsibility for it, because that's what happens when there's nobody to take responsibility for it, it falls to the trustee. But also, we don't have that responsibility, legality to, like, we can't get insurance on it. We can't protect it, so
We don't own it.
we don't own it.
Oh.
So because we don't own it, we can't insure it, we can't, those cameras and all those things. So it's a double-edged sword. While we have to be responsible for it, we have to be responsible for making sure that it's secure.
And it
Security is the only thing we have.
won't stop them from throwing rocks from further away once you set the cameras.
Well,
Exactly, right, so,
And unfortunately, the Temple Hill Mausoleum is in the county of Shelby, but not in the city of Shelbyville. So the police, our Shelbyville Police Department does not want to patrol it. They said it's in the county. The county sheriff's department says, well, you guys patrol Culpeper and Ryobi and everything else,
Right
so you're
there.
driving right by that.
Yeah,
They're in the city. No, the mausoleum's not in the city.
they literally leave from the same building. They, whoever, the police officers, they leave from the same building. One of them has to go this way, one of them has to go this way. But nobody wants to go down there.
And so we've got a building that no one wants to be responsible for security on. And we don't have an endless supply of money to like take care of
It's
it.
historic.
It has no heat, it has no lights, no electricity. And over time, the heat and thaw just of the season has damaged the roof. It's damaged the back corner. And I'm afraid that it's gonna leak to the point where that limestone is just going to rot and fall off.
probably.
And then somebody's gonna say, well, trustee needs to take care of that.
Yeah,
But we don't, I mean, it is our responsibility to secure it, for the safety of the community. But
And for
beyond
the
that,
people who have
Yeah.
family members interned there.
so right before it was vandalized, I had a couple reach out and his
Sorry, could be my mom.
his grandparents or whatever were in there. And,
Mom, I'm at my meeting.
then,
Okay, I'll call
well,
you
they-
right
they
back when I'm
came-
done.
They came back to, the mausoleum, we walked around and we found their things. They didn't like all the weeds growing up, and they sent a
Mother's in the
check.
nursing
They
home,
actually,
we got her telephone, she doesn't tell time very
they,
well.
they
No
paid
worries.
Wade.
I gotta keep it on.
We were out
You
of
never
it,
know.
but they paid
No
Wade
worries.
directly to go out and do some work.
oh, that's
And
nice.
then it got demolished, like it got vandalized, and their family members were ones that got torn down. So I had to call them and tell them, hey, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but the place was vandalized and your loved one's grave was vandalized. So, and they weren't young. They weren't young, in the first place, so I don't know what their situation is. I have not heard back from them. They have my contact, I have theirs, but like, I don't have anything to report. You know, I don't even know anything new to report, because we're not going to replace any of those graves that were, damaged.
So the funny thing is, if the police officers and the sheriffs are arguing over who's supposed to go there, who come to fill the report out?
So, how it happened was, Brian Hale was driving by and he noticed that the door was open and he was like, that's really strange, that's not supposed to be.
Not
So,
supposed to be.
so he stopped and he looked, he kind of peeked in and he was like, oh, there's problems. And so I don't know if somebody was, no, there was somebody, maybe somebody pulled in or somebody was there at the same time who also noticed it. When it came down to it, they called the police department and I don't know, I think it was county, but it was an issue. It was an issue, like who was
You
going.
write it up, no, you
Yeah,
write it
and
up.
I actually had to call and it was like,
And that's what happened, because
nobody actually took a report.
they thought that the
Because nobody
report
was to
should
take
be,
one, and
should be
then-
filed by the police department. And
Yeah.
the police department said, well, no, it's in the county. And so the county, one of the sheriff's deputies had to fill out that report.
Yeah,
And so,
so even though they came out, they didn't file it, like, and I have all the records, all the things.
That's crazy.
And then through that vandalization, the library has a genealogy report. So I took that report and James and I went out and I numbered them all and I matched them up for the grave, and then I had to send, to the DNR a sheet, 2 sheets that has a copy of the obituary and who I thought was in there and the information. Because, if somebody finds, the grave broken somewhere, they need to be able to say, they need to be able to go look it up and be like, oh, well, we know why it's broken and someone threw it in the trash because it was vandalized, like someone didn't rob a grave, you know, so they had to have record of it. So we did our due diligence on all that, and then it got broken in again. And so they broke through the window or whatever that the 1-800 block up put up. So we have to do something. They took our lock. They took our lock off the door.
had another lock.
It was a good one too. It was like, punch the number in, they took it.
And now we've got just a little,
Thank you.
we've got just a little, master lock on there. We've got a master lock on there.
Do we go out and buy, I don't go that way. Does anybody go by once in a while?
Yeah,
See
I do.
So Sam, when I take Sam to work, I go that way, so and it's just now, I always look, but, I mean,
I usually try to get by there a couple times a week, because I work out at the Y. I
you
just
just go
change
that way.
my path coming home, and I take Rampart, and then I come down and take a look, and I'll have to meet, Brian Martin from, Builders Lumber and Hardware. He's the one helping me with it, and
I
so,
was gonna say, who we working with, Brian?
yeah, we're working with Brian, and that's who gave us the $800 quote for the window. I'm trying to get a door. He said that get us one for about $8,000. I said, man, I ain't trying to spend $8 grand. I mean, it's not my money, it's township's money, but I still think we ought to be frugal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
man, I ain't trying to pay.
Lattice door or something?
And so
It's an odd shape.
there used
It's
to
always
be,
custom.
Because it's 2.
there used to be 2 doors
doors.
there, so I said, hold up, partner, I don't need 2 doors. And I said, we can block one, I just need 1 door to get in. I said, because we're not interning people there
Right.
anymore. So there won't be any caskets coming in, there won't be any caskets going out. I said, it's only human beings coming in and out. So 1 door.
And the ghost can go through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you just block out one side. So either the door is on the right
That's
and
a
the
good
black is on the
idea.
left, or the door is on the left, and
Yeah.
the nice, they'll do it up. But
Mhm.
I said, I don't want $8,000. for a door.
Crazy.
That's way too much. He said, what were you thinking about? I said, in honesty, less than half that, you know?
Yeah,
2,000.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, James, you just don't know the price. And I said, no,
Save the
I don't.
trees.
And I said, no, I don't. I said, but you asked me, so
I'm
I'll
gonna
tell you.
I'm gonna tell you. Yeah.
I checked the ones at Lowe's or.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, we want to deal with someone local.
Exactly.
And I
yeah.
wanted to deal with Builders Lumber and Hardware. They're local. I could have done Gilman's. They're kind of sort of local,
Yeah.
but they're headquartered in Greensboro. So
A functioning mausoleum needs a tight fitted, functioning, airtight door, which I imagine is where all that money goes, I imagine.
and I mean, and
Thickness
so
and
and
heaviness.
so we're gonna do that. So he is now on a search to find me something else, and I will let you all know. And then I've got to get either Cord Brothers or I've got to get somebody local to install it. Cord Brothers is really high. Jeannie and I
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
that's who came out the first time. So
They did the original, didn't they?
yes,
That's why we went with them for
Yeah,
the other
They're a
repairs
little higher
because,
than everybody
yeah.
else.
yeah,
But-
they did the original, and
But they
they
did.
and they know the building.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're good people.
But
Mike
the
and
other
his
thing-
Yeah,
crew-
but they're
Yeah.
more expensive, so if we're
Yeah,
trying to.
they're a little
be
more
fair.
expensive, but Mike and his crew are good people.
They're good people. I don't have anything
Yeah.
against that. So, but the other thing is, eventually, it's gonna need a new roof, or it's gonna need some type of roof repair. And I don't know what kind of money we're talking about there, because John Huber told me that he thinks that thing was last roofed in '86 or '88.
Long time ago.
And the bad thing about it, it's a flat roof, and it's got that rubber butyl type flat roof, and it's got very little incline to it, so the water doesn't run off real well. And then the water has some way somehow found a way to get in between the limestone and the roof.
Mhm.
And we've even got some rust on the suspended ceiling in there.
We had when I worked for Golden Corral, we had that building there on Broadway. The one side was like that, it was kind of flat, just a very slight slope. I wished I could remember the person that did our roof there because they did a great job on it. They had to redo the whole roof up there.
So yeah, that's definitely gonna come down to it, and as long as, I don't know, it's cleaned up as much as we can
Oh,
on the inside.
it's very nice on the inside now. It's all cleaned up. They got rid of all the debris. John Huber and his crew stacked all of those, the broken plates, stacked them all up because he didn't know whether we were gonna take them and have them repaired. We're not. So you're gonna have a lot of empty spaces in there.
And there's a lot of names that are in there, so it looks like they're buried there, but there's nobody there, they were actually buried somewhere else. So,
Yeah, the Major family, they've got what, about 4 spots out there?
yeah, and they're not in there.
And
They're not in there.
none of the Major family is buried there and turned into mausoleum. They bought those spaces, but apparently somebody decided that they wanted them buried in the ground, so.
So we've gotta get the window repaired and then we'll find out about the labor. Are we gonna do anything about the brush around the outside? We had talked at one time about just getting it cut at some base, so at least it's easily visible from the road because people can hide within the brush.
Mhm.
Yes, and we talked about that, and last year you all bumped up Wade's, allocation to $4,000 because he said it's gonna be, he'd probably have to have somebody else do it. They're gonna have to go in with some heavy equipment, to
And mulch
whack,
it out.
to whack that down to, I don't know, 5 or 6 feet high or something like that, so.
And some of it, you know,
To the
is
ground.
stuck to the
Building.
building, so when you pull it off, you could ruin the integrity of the building.
Right.
Well, it
But-
will damage the building.
If you cut at the base and just let it rot in itself, I don't know. I don't know what the
I-
right answer is, but it's gonna continue to Tear it up, is it gonna cost us more when it actually falls to the ground?
Yeah, well, we're paying Wade now, and he ensures that, the poisonous weeds, he eradicates those, so there's no poison ivy or poison oak and stuff like that out there. And he keeps the doorway open, so if anyone did need to like go and visit, and Sherry, if you ever wanna like go out there and take a look, just let me know, and
Yeah, I'd love to.
It's interesting,
I'll take you out there.
We've done.
and warmer times.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And a couple other cemeteries that we deal with that would be good for just for.
Yeah, we've got two other cemeteries, so, who was it that had the electric company, Rush?
Mhm.
Rush Electric, back there off of Michigan Road,
Okay, yeah.
The red building.
Across from the mausoleum.
there's a small cemetery back there.
Really?
That we're responsible for.
Okay.
Now, the beauty of it is, the homeowner decides to cut that with his Dixie chopper, and he doesn't want any money
It's
from
been for sale for a while.
from the township.
Oh,
He just does that out of the goodness of his heart.
yeah.
And that house is for sale, and it's been for sale for a while, so.
Big
Eventually,
red one there.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's been for sale, and so
Mm.
that may be something we have to.
Well,
revisit.
Wade knows that, you know, with the Moore contract, he's got the mausoleum, he's got that cemetery, and then he's got Campbell Cemetery out here by the viaduct.
Yeah.
But the thing about them, they're so small, he won't be able to cut them with his riding lumber. He's gonna have to push more.
Weed eater. Okay, so what else we have left?
All right, so, you all increased the fire protection budget to $49,500. Jeannie has typed up the contract. I spoke with the mayor this morning. The mayor said, all I need to do is just give it to the chief. He'll bring it before the Board of Works. The mayor and the Board of Works will sign it. Scott will then sign it, and then it will come back to me, and then I will sign it. Or if you all want, I can sign my share before it goes to the chief.
Is there somewhere in there that has a stipulation that says exactly what they're spending the money on?
No. It's a very, very simple, the service to be paid for by second party, following amounts payable in the manner of $24,750. Said amount shall constitute the full payments to be made for fire protection, emergency service. No other charge or expense shall be paid. We give that money to the city of Shelbyville, we don't know what it's spent on.
The general fund, which
That's
is what they
ba- yeah,
buy all their
basically-
gear out of, so technically you can claim you bought everything.
But what we
But it's supposed to
did,
go for fire.
fire protection
Fire
and
protection.
emergency services.
Yeah, and it does say fire protection and emergency services.
It does.
Okay.
It does say that. So,
But that's why we've kept some money, so we have some wiggle room if the chief comes up with something that they need.
It will come out.
Turnout gear, we bought the little cameras.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a
The,
great
the
idea.
body cameras, we did that and we spent $7,500. Now, we know what our $7,500 went for.
Right.
Right.
We got a chance to see it, feel it, hold it, look at it, and I mean, and it was not, I'd
That's pretty
rather-
cheap, isn't it? Was it for everybody?
they got, no,
They just
and,
got
and
so
he
many.
had a
Well, they got-
grant.
they got
as
a
well.
grant from Blue River Foundation, so
Oh.
our $7,500 got about half of those, got, I think 11 of those, 10 or 11.
Still, that's pretty good.
And then the grant got the other 10 or 11, cause I think he said they got 22 of those cameras.
Sounds right.
Yeah. So our contract does say it goes for fire services, fire and emergency services.
Okay.
But it's nothing specific, and, I mean, I don't know, we've asked before, you know, specific numbers. What did this go to? They can't provide it, so.
So, I will sign this and get this to the chief, and then the Board of Works will sign it, and, Scott Asher as a clerk will sign it. And that is we have to do this contract every year. So it'll only be for 1 year.
We gotta sign all the other contracts, right, before we leave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The 100R has been released, that was released, few days ago, so I will complete that for the township. It simply states who are the members of the township. So it's the advisory board, you three, the clerk and investigator, 2 positions, 1 person, and myself as a trustee. Now the other thing, do you all wanna look at calendars now and set meeting dates for this year?
It doesn't matter to me. Does it need to be on camera? Do we need to do it? Can we close the meeting and schedule it, or do they need to know?
No, they need to know.
Okay,
Because if you say you're gonna meet the second Thursday in
got it.
April and the second Thursday in July,
So we have April that we're starting to schedule?
yes.
I'm probably not available April 26th or 7th through May the 2nd or 3rd.
Okay.
I know you got your calendars out, but generally take a men's trip that time.
Do you wanna do the first or second? Tuesday. What does that look for you?
I
Are you?
I prefer the second Tuesday, I think.
It's the 14th.
So tell me that again, what day,
April 14th?
what time are we doing?
What you got, Susan?
April 14th? What time? 5:30?
5:30? Is that what, Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, April 14th? Yeah, just let me know, Gene.
Gotcha,
5:30?
5:30 is fine for me.
Okay.
Just need to put it on both places.
All right, we will meet
Get that in my flip phone notes.
you all can meet the second Tuesday in July. That'll be our budget discussion.
What do you say, April what?
What's that
April
date,
14th.
James?
July 14th. That's the second Tuesday.
That sounds good.
5:30?
Mhm.
You all will go over the budget. You are required by law to, if you do nothing else, you have to set the salaries. Your salary, Jeannie's salaries, and mine.
July
Okay.
14th?
Yep.
And what I do, I provide some information on what we've done in the past and if we need to increase something or decrease something. We've been able to decrease office supplies because Jeannie is extremely frugal and she doesn't just go willy-nilly and
Usually that meeting's at the church though, right?
Normally.
So we meet at Second Baptist. Just because there's air conditioning.
And then, so after that meeting, if you all don't have any changes or modifications to the budget, we will submit that budget, probably Friday the 24th. Cause I think they'd like to have it by the 25th, and the 25th is on a Saturday.
So we don't have to have a second meeting in July?
Well, we sometimes do, but most of the time we don't.
If we do, we'll schedule it.
Yep.
Okay. And then, September, did we have to do another in September?
We have to do 2 budget hearings in September. If we don't go to the conference, we're wide open for September.
What are the dates we talking in September? Have we set them yet?
I would suggest Tuesday, September 15th, because that's a week after Labor Day in case somebody goes on vacation for Labor
I'm
Day.
on a cruise on that week, so
Okay.
not the
Well,
15th.
then we have our meeting on your cruise.
I know.
Right, we're going with you, Rick.
And so if we have it
You're
on
welcome.
on the 15th, then 14 days later, the
have to do
adoption
2
will be on the
weeks.
29th.
So the 15th and 29th, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
5:30?
Yep.
And then it's up to you all if you feel we need to meet October, November, or December.
We can just play that by ear. We don't have to schedule that right now, do we?
No.
Okay.
Because in the past, we haven't scheduled anything during that time.
I think those dates are good, so we have April 14th, July 14th, and September 15th and 29th, all at 5:30.
Yes.
Okay.
I need, everybody to fill out the W-4. And if you want to take it and bring it back to me, you can do that. And then also, I just wanted to give everybody the take one down, pass it around.
Thank you.
Do it again next year?
Huh?
Take one down, pass it around,
Yeah.
do it again next year?
No, I just was gonna.
Get one?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, you want one first, want to see it? You can, it's
Sure.
public record.
Oh, you're handing me a W-4.
No, that is, just last year's numbers, I just.
Oh, thank you.
Finished, so if you're interested in.
I sure did, yeah.
What's A&D?
Individual, I have to fill out a form called a TA-7.
And you got
And-
individual assistance and family assistance.
Got it, okay.
And I actually already have one of these for you, Sherry. I filled one out,
Okay.
well, I guess I just need it for you too. Rick, if you can just fill it out and then drop it back off to me, you don't have to do it tonight.
Okay.
And then James, you and I have one here too.
It's just the front page, we'll bring it back.
Yeah, the rest is just information, just directions if you need any directions.
Filling out basically the top.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, but
Yeah.
if you don't wanna have to fill it out today, you don't have to. And then
Claim
what do
dependent,
they
other credits.
sign in? I need to sign some things.
All right, is there anything else that we need to do for the meeting?
I don't have anything else for you outside of the signatures that you all will have to provide. I will let you know, this is just for your information, Jeannie and I have been contacted by some business that we don't know whether it's legitimate or not. They want all of our purchase order information on vendors. They're trying to say that this is required by state law, but I found something from that company. It's out of Virginia, and then the call that Jeannie got was from Buffalo, New York. And so I contacted our attorney, Eric Glasgow. I contacted the State Board of Accounts. They suggested that I get something formal from the Public Access Counselor on how you go about a Freedom of Information Act and if we're required to provide this information. I don't want to give some company out in Virginia or Western New York that we deal with Builders Lumber and we deal with the Office Hub and all the other people that we pay, and they're now badgered by them on trying to get them on some type
Right.
of.
But that's
Please.
not even it, that completely, they also want us to provide a report of all of our purchase orders. Well, our purchase orders also go to landlords, and they have our constituents' information on them. That, and I told the guy, I was like, I would never give you that information, and he was like, well, it's the law, you have to, it's public record.
No state can tell another state what to do, ever.
And he said, basically, he said, this business, I was like, what is your purpose? What is your business? And he said, we are building our own database to bridge the gap between government and businesses. And I was like, if these businesses wanna know where if there's any business that
That
wants
doesn't
to
sound
know
right to me.
something,
No.
it's public record, they can in turn ask me.
I
Because
think
he
I
said,
have
well, they
more
don't have to.
concerns.
And he said,
Well,
I will
sound
be the
right to me.
middleman, and he said, yes, and we will be compensated monetarily, and I said, so you're making money on the backs of our constituents, and they were like, nope, and I said, yes, you are, and I'm not the one.
No,
No.
we don't wanna do that, so,
How often have they called you?
They have sent several emails, and they've called a couple times, and I just let it go to voicemail because I recognize the number, and the other day I was just, I woke up on the right side of the bed, and I answered the phone, and, I don't know that he'll call back. But, I told him, I said, I will do my due diligence, cause he kept saying, look up my company, and I said, I have looked up your company, I
couldn't
said, when,
find it.
I said, when my boss, showed me the email, I told him, oh, it's a scam. I looked up the company and I read whatever I found and I was like, oh, it's a scam. And I said, I'm having a conversation with you and I'm thinking, oh, it's a scam. You aren't doing anything for me. You are not helping me
Wasting
on
time.
your side.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, can I get all your numbers on your major credit card?
Yeah.
And then this guy, and I told him, and he
Lovely
said,
friend,
he
you
said,
need.
well, I
Yeah,
really
so-
take offense
Cause
to that.
someone
And I was
somewhere will
like,
go,
"No."
Well, if he takes
somebody-
offense to it,
Yeah.
Sure you can
I
build
said,
that
well,
data center
said,
here.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
bridge
there's
the
always
gap
a sucker.
between privacy and my constituents. You bridge whatever gaps you want over there, buddy. I'll be
Yeah.
over here doing.
Bridge
my
the
job."
gap.
yeah.
Well, and so,
So, yeah.
I have prepared questions and sent that to the public access counselor for response. And Susan, you'll be copied on that email, and
Okay.
Jeannie, you're copied on it.
Thank
So,
you.
It's just really strange. And now you know, you can't trust people, you can't trust AI, you can't trust,
No, I got scammed really bad last spring, or last fall.
You say you could trust
You cannot.
something at one time?
Yeah,
no,
it was-
it's just getting worse.
Ah.
So, yeah.
They even sent me a picture
Well,
that showed,
that's true.
I said, I want your badge number, cause they said, you know,
Had Buck been having
I'm
issues?
a,
Mhm.
you know,
What
deputy.
was it, 73 before?
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sheriff's deputy or something like that, and, you know, trying to tell me that they were real legal, and so he sent me badge number, picture, ID, everything. It was all fake. I never even thought about it being fake, and it was all fake. And they got me for, I don't know, $3,500.
Oh.
And I'm like, so I took it up to the police department, and they looked the guy up and everything, and they're like, you know, there's a guy with that name, but it's totally different picture, totally different ID number,
Jake still live in Illinois?
all of that.
It's-
So they're like,
Thanks, Mom.
Jake, she still lives in Illinois,
Well,
doesn't she?
that's
Yeah,
because I said,
Springfield.
how do I
Yeah.
know this is not a scam? Well, cause, you know, I have information, I mean, I have, you know, ID. Okay, I want your ID, I want your badge number, I want proof that you guys are legit. That's what they sent me, and
Well, I'll tell you, nobody's getting $3,500 from me,
I know.
including me.
Well, McDonald's isn't getting my change.
Oh, right, right.
Can we call this meeting?
Yes, the only thing left for you all is just a signature, so
And they can-
yes.
Okay,
Madam Chairwoman, you can close the meeting.
Alright, like 6:33 on January 6th. Make a motion to close the meeting?
second.
Second.
Alright. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I would like to invite all of you to, if you're on the Addison Township Times news page or something,